Hi and welcome everyone. You're watching another 24/7 TBC live broadcast. My name is Paul and this is episode 50, and today's date is May 27th, 2018. And the title of this episode is Come Live a Life of Abundance. Okay, TBC stands for the Billion Coin, and it is a cryptocurrency that has been out for 2 years. It is an abundance-based coin, which means that the price never goes down. It always goes up. And it does that because it is built on not just the blockchain platform, but also it uses an algorithm to increase the value of it. Instead of putting it on a trading market where anybody could come in and manipulate that price according to how much they buy and when they sell. Ours cannot have that happen. Ours is based on an algorithm which is designed to raise the price of our coin. When it came out by €1 per every person that joined our community. And they could join for free. And just joining free raised the price of our coin by €1. So 2 years ago, in March 21st of 2016, the admin, the creators, it's a team effort, it's not just one individual, started the coin with 171 vetted individuals, like-minded individuals that understood the mission of this coin and understood the difference of it. And they were allowed a certain amount only of the coin. And from that point on, as members joined, they had to, if they wanted to own the coin, they had to purchase from one of those 171 individuals until they had coin, and then they could turn around if they had enough and sell it to their friends and family. The admin doesn't sell any coins after that, okay, and still doesn't. But the admin does give the coin away, because with an algorithm that is based on members belonging to our private community, then we have got to grow to get those Kringles, which is a division of our coin, out into the hands of people. The more people that have our coin, the more our coin can be used as its own economy throughout the world. We call ourselves the Billion Coin because we are creating or have created 1 billion coins. No more will be created after that. So there's your supply and demand. Also, when we came out 2 years ago, we based the value on the euro. So each euro represented one member. So in US dollars, it's like $1.40. So it would raise the price up. If 10,000 members joined the next day, it raised the price of the coin by 10,000 euros. So our coin got expensive very quickly because we grew that first year to 100,000 members, which would have made the coin worth 100,000 euros. Okay, so the second year we grew 30 times more. We went from 100,000 to 3 million. Okay, so that would have made our coin 3 million euros each. So that's why we don't sell any coins anymore. We sell Kringles, divisions of that coin. Okay, so our mission with doing this is to eliminate global poverty. So that was the entire design of our coin, was to accomplish that. Okay, we knew that with 1 billion coins, we'd have enough for 7.5 billion people on the world to live in complete abundance. And so this has been our mission for 2 full years. And in those 2 years, all we have done is grown stronger, healthier, and moved forward with technology. Now, being as we used the euro 2 years ago to base the value of our coin, and the fact that it's been 2 years and we're now at 3.2 million people, members, we've decided it's time to change the value of our coin from a fiat currency like the euro or the US dollar over to gold. So now when a person joins, instead of it raising the price by 1 euro, it raises the price by 1 grain of gold, which is the smallest measurement of gold that there is. A grain, okay? It's smaller than a gram. In fact, I think I've got it right here. Yes. The exact measurement is a grain of gold to 1 gram. 15.43 grains of gold equals 1 gram of gold. And how many grams of gold equal a troy ounce? 31.1 grams of gold will equal 1 troy ounce of gold. So basically what happened when we switched over to gold is at the current price, 1 grain of gold is worth $2.80. Okay, it was worth $1.40, and now it's worth $2.80. So it doubled the price of our coin just by switching over to using the value of gold instead of using the value of a fiat currency. So instead of it topping out, maxing out at the algorithm, which will max out when we get to our first billion people, instead of it being worth 1 billion euros each coin, it will now be worth 2 billion euros or 2.8 billion US dollars. So that's why we call it the billion coin. There'll never be more than 1 billion coins made. The algorithm will max its price out with our first billion members. And the coin will now, if you have just one, make you a multi-billionaire. Okay? 2.8 billion, almost $3 billion. If the price goes up in the next 2 years, we don't expect to get to 1 billion people for at least 2 years. It could take us 3 years, but even then, you know how fast that goes by? So what do we need to do at this point? Well, at this point with 3 million people, most of those people were given the gift for absolutely free. Okay, we just gave it to them. We gave them a free wallet. We gave them a free back office so they could turn around. And if they wanted to give the gift to their family and friends. And this is how we grew last year by 30 times. The problem we found is that people didn't give it enough value because it was completely free to stay involved and to duplicate themselves. Many people just said, oh, yeah, okay, I'll take that free cryptocurrency. I've heard about Bitcoin, so I'll take this one. I haven't heard about the billion coin, but if you're giving it to me free, I may as well take it, right? So they took it and they basically forgot about it. Or they didn't do anything with it. They didn't tell anybody because maybe they were just skeptical or, you know, they didn't know enough about cryptocurrency to trust it. They thought maybe their friends might think they're crazy. There's lots of reasons why people don't flock to cryptocurrency because it's new. It's why people didn't flock at first to the internet. It scared them. It scared so many people. Okay. And people didn't even want to put credit cards and use credit cards over the internet in the beginning. But as you know, when people started to realize that the internet was real, they came in masses during the 90s. And that system matured by 2000. So it took only 10 years for the internet to be completely mature. And then it's just taken off like you wouldn't believe it, right? So Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, mentioned just recently that the cryptocurrency and the blockchain technology platform system will be mature in 10 years. So that would mean that by 2018, it would be completely mature. It wouldn't start at that point. It would be completely mature. You have to understand that Bitcoin got started back in 2009, really 2010. 2009 was when Satoshi Nakamoto, is what he called himself, invented the blockchain platform. Now, there was open source and other types of systems that were close to that. He actually created the system he did, and then he said, I'm going to create a cryptocurrency using the blockchain, which is cryptography. Okay, it's an encryption system. So that's what he did. And then, being as nobody understood what that was, he had to just start educating people. The only people that understood it were techies, people that really knew what, computers were. They knew software, they knew hardware, they knew all that kind of stuff. And they realized, wow, this guy's onto something. And, they volunteered to become a part of it. They called them independent miners. And just like you mine for gold, these miners would mine to create a Bitcoin. They had to buy on their own special hardware. They had to use a very large amount of electricity, and they had to spend time and work and effort on creating a blockchain cryptocurrency, one coin. But they were rewarded for doing that. That was what motivated these independent miners, because they would earn themselves a full coin. Okay, so Bitcoin then went on to a trading exchange system. It just kind of evolved right into it. Payment processors just started to trade it, and they became trading exchanges. And this allowed, over time, other coins to be produced using that same blockchain platform, which we call 1.0, and come out and get put on these trading exchanges. And it helped to popularize the cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, and it helped increase the price over the years. You can go and look at the history of Bitcoin. It's interesting. Okay, but here we are, 8 years later. Technology has increased at its normal pace, which is it doubles every 18 months. And we, the Billion Coin, created a brand new 2.0 blockchain platform where the speeds per second when it comes to transactions equals that of Visa and MasterCard, which is approximately 2,000 transaction average per minute, compared to about 600 transactions, 700 transactions per minute with Bitcoin. So this is a game changer, because now we can take our coin and use it literally as money throughout the entire world and not have any problems with getting backlogged or slowed down because we can't deal with all those transactions. Now we can, okay? And we'll be done with the migration by July 31st. We've started migrating to a brand new 2.0 blockchain, going from the old one 3.2 million members, and we're taking them over to the new one. And they're going to get a new wallet system. The wallet systems that we use is centralized by the admin and the creators on purpose, okay, to keep people from discounting the coin, which would destroy the value of our coin, and also to distribute the wealth evenly or fairly evenly amongst our first billion individuals. Now that is key, friends. That's why I'm so passionate about this particular coin, is because there's no greed and selfishness involved in it. We're not letting the rich come in and buy what they want, like they can with Bitcoin, and raise the value of the coin and bring in all the other gamblers and then dump it by selling their own coins, which is what you're seeing right now. If you've been watching Bitcoin, if you're into Bitcoin, that's what you've been seeing since January, February. Okay, because the price did go up to almost 20,000 in December. And now it's down there. I think it went just below 8,000 yesterday or the day before. Okay, and it has gone down to below 5,000 this year at its lowest point. Okay, so we're still basically in a bear situation with with Bitcoin for sure. So that's the risk of cryptocurrencies that are on a trading market exchange. Okay, they're good options to protect your wealth. If you want to protect your wealth, which may be all in fiat currency from a crash, if your retirement funds are in an IRA or in stocks and bonds, and you're doing it on your own, whatever it is, and that's all you've got, or it's in real estate, maybe it's all in your house. You saw what happened in 2008. People lost their houses. They lost everything. Okay, we saw what happened with the crash of the stock market in 2000. It crashes over and over again because of the way the central bankers have it rigged. Okay, it is a debt-based system that the country has been under since 1913. When the central bankers, called the Federal Reserve, took over using their man, Woodrow Wilson, the president, who came into office in 1913, and 3 days later signed the Federal Reserve Act and betrayed not only the entire people of America, but he betrayed the Constitution of the United States. It wasn't the first time that that happened, but it was the last time, because it has been that system for 105 years without any breakups. Okay, they have become so strong with their structure throughout the entire world that no president has been able to get rid of them. Kennedy was doing it, and it was interesting because at that time, even without having the internet, the timing was where he was able to do it, and he was getting it done. He was hanging on to the gold. He was bringing that silver back. He wanted to bring our troops out of Vietnam. He didn't want anything to do with a war with Vietnam. He was totally against the deep state. It wasn't called that then, but he was totally against the central bankers and their debt-based system. He wanted to make America great again. Okay, he wasn't supposed to be president. Richard Nixon was supposed to be president. But the Patriots did like they did with Trump and Hillary, and they voted Trump in. And Trump barely won, just like Kennedy barely won. So he was getting the job done. And of course, we all know what happened to John F. Kennedy. Lyndon Johnson took over, and he was their man. He was owned and bought and paid for by the central banking system. And then Nixon's turn came again. And he was a shoo-in again. There was nobody that could beat him. I can't even remember who was it. Spiro Agnew was up against him. or eventually became up against him, or was that, yeah. I get confused between Nixon and Nixon's vice president because he lost his vice president, right? Gerald Ford was the Secretary of State, and he ended up becoming president when Nixon had to resign. But anyway, Robert F. Kennedy came along, decided to run and see if he could win the nomination, and he was definitely going to win. And Nixon wasn't about to let another Kennedy keep him from doing what he wanted to do. The central bankers weren't about to let it. So they didn't even let Kennedy win the Democratic nomination. Okay, and then we had Reagan, but it wasn't the time. The timing was off for Reagan. There wasn't even an internet yet, and the way the structure was set up, he couldn't do much, but he did a lot. But now, things are way different. Now we're at a changing point again with technology, to where we absolutely can get rid of all of this system and bring the money back into the people's hands, not just in America, but in the entire world. This is confusing a lot of people politically, is this Make America Great Again, this MAGA, okay? Trump and the Patriots cannot make America great again unless they make the entire world great again. Okay, that's common sense and just logic. There's just no way, right? It's like, I don't know, how would you explain it? It's like if you've got a body that's very, very sick, you know, it's just toxic. It's loaded with parasites, but you've got a real bad spleen. You need to take care of that spleen, or a pancreas, or just any organ. You need to make that great again. Okay. Well, how are you going to make it great again when the whole body is sick? It's impossible. Okay. So in order for Trump and the Patriots to make America great again, we have to make the world great again. It's that simple. And the deep state is deep. It has been in most of the countries in the entire world, and has controlled the monetary system of those countries. That's why we, not you and I, but we, the central bankers of America, can put sanctions on people, on countries when we feel like it. Oh, you're not going along with our plan? We'll just put some sanctions on you so you can't sell your oil or whatever, because you're using our money. Okay, so the time is up. The time is up. We have a man in office that the Patriots put in there. We've got the timing, we've got the technology, and it's going down. The deep state is on its way out. The central bankers are freaking. The countries are returning their currency back by gold. Russia has completely done it. China has completely done it. Now China is in the process of, will you accept our yuan? Because we do buy all of our oil from the outside world. I mean, not all, but they are the hugest consumers of oil in the world. So they have already purchased tons of oil using the Chinese yuan instead of the petrodollar, which is our US dollar, which is not really ours. It's a Federal Reserve note. It's the private banking system's note. It's money. It's their money. It's not money. It's not backed by anything. It's just nothing. It only works because of the faith of the people. And the faith is what's the problem right now. The faith has been lost in all the people in all the countries, okay, for the most part. I mean, they're just barely hanging on to it. And especially America. America has just been weird. That's the only thing we've ever known. And we've always thought it was money, unless we've understood how the system works. But if it was money, you would never see inflation. You would never see devaluation of that monetary system, which is all we've seen with the fiat currency that we're on. Okay, so we're getting rid of it, folks. It has to come down, and what will happen is a new currency will come out, and it has to happen real quick because we're on a timeline now. We're kind of stuck there in the Middle East, and we can't go any further until we take Netanyahu's power, which is his money, which is his power, which is the central banking system, away from him. Okay, so he can stop slaughtering and committing genocide on the Palestinian people and keep war going on in the Middle East. We can't finish making peace with the Middle East until we get rid of Netanyahu's power. Money. That's what we're talking about. Money, but you can't talk about politics or money without the two together, because that's what they are. Whoever's got the money controls the politicians. And it's time that we, the people of the world, get that money back in our hands, and we own the politicians. That's we, the people. That's the way it's supposed to be, right? That's the way our Constitution's built. So that's what we're doing. That's what the billion coin is designed for, but it's worldwide because we have to fix the entire world in order to fix America. And we've been doing this for 2 years now. Okay, this is our 3rd year, and now that we're in our 3rd year, we're switching over to a super fast, as far as we know, the first blockchain platform that can handle that many transactions. Okay, can create literally our own economy. If we have the coin into your hands, it takes distribution of our coin so that you can go to the store and use Kringles. Okay, like some people can accept Bitcoin in spite of its volatility on a market. Some people can accept it because they're making enough cash flow that they don't need to use that Bitcoin. They just throw it in their wallet. These merchants that are accepted it, they throw it in their wallet and they leave it, because they know 12 months later that it's going to go up because of supply and demand. They're only making 21 million Bitcoins. So just that alone gives it supply and demand. Another 12 months later, they know it's going to be worth even more. So why not take some? It's just smart investment, okay? So that's why these things are an option to protect your wealth, because they're real money. Cryptocurrency is real money. Okay, just like gold, just like silver, just like platinum, just like diamonds, just like precious stones. Okay, just like oil, just like land. Okay, yeah, land can go down in value, but it will never be worth nothing. Okay, so we want you to live in abundance. And I would like to talk today, let me see if there's anything I haven't gone through with the billion coin. We have ways. Let me bring this up. Because we control the distribution of our coin, like I said, the rich can't come in and buy what they want and leave scraps for the rest of us. It's not happening with us. Because we have this little bit of control with the wallet system, we can do what we want with our coin. Okay, so we can certainly give it away without discounting the value of the coin. We won't discount the value by selling it at a low price when it's now currently worth, well, US dollars, it'd be over 8 million, maybe over 9 million by now. And we'll end up being worth 2.8 billion when we get to our first billion members, right? So how is it that anybody can buy a coin? Because you can't become a multi-billionaire unless you have at least one coin. Okay, and because our price is so expensive now, how are we going to get it into your hands? We have to find ways to get that into your hands. Okay, so we have these promotions where you can earn that coin by telling other people about it, bringing other people into and getting their hands on the coin. That's how we become an economy. That's how we raise that price up to $2.8 billion a coin if the gold stays at the same price. Okay, so are you starting to get the picture? If you're new and you're watching this video, you're starting to get the picture now of the power of people. Okay, and now you're seeing that not only is our coin an option to protect your wealth, but it's an absolute solution to global poverty. It's a solution to all poverty. It's an abundance-based coin. It will bring nothing but abundance to everyone on the earth. When we hit our first billion people, we will have enough Kringles out there to completely provide abundance to the other 6.5 billion people in ways that they never even could see. And if there isn't something that you can stand for or get behind, like eliminating poverty in this world, then there is nothing. Because if you see it, and you do have to hunt for it, because the corporate media in America is not going to show you, unless you get real lucky. That's why I've got a couple of videos down there that does show you. One will show you poverty that's going on, or the problems going on with the lack of electricity in Puerto Rico right now because of that hurricane. Okay, that system, there was nothing we could do about the hurricane, right? But the electric grid system, that's a joke. That's the central banking system to control the electricity and get money from people every month by charging them electricity, which should be free, because the electricity is free. It's in the air. It's wireless. It's everything. We are made out of atoms. Everything you see is atoms. That's energy. That's electricity. Okay, so in Tesla, okay, brought that out back in the 30s. Nicholas Tesla brought us wireless, or was going to bring us wireless electricity, but the central banking system wasn't about to let that happen. They had just built the whole entire wire and pole grid over the earth so that they can charge everybody. Okay, Wi-Fi should be free, but they found a way now with technology to put a modem in our homes, right? Internet, cellular, whatever it is, all of that stuff should be free. And you could say, well, Paul, well, that would eliminate all these jobs. Well, those jobs weren't there anyway before this stuff was invented, right? So don't be deceived by what the people will tell you to make you afraid of moving forward with technology, or making you afraid so that you won't believe in reality, or you won't go back in history and realize what is going on. You see what I'm saying? So I see God's hand in this. We, the people that are already involved in the TBC community, see the hand of God in this. Otherwise, we wouldn't see it. It wouldn't be happening. There's got to be a reason for it. There's got to be a reason why the internet came out. There's got to be a reason why electricity was invented and the light bulb came out. It's never gone away, has it? Okay, so, yeah, that's what we're doing. Now, there is ways you can get a full coin, okay? Simply by getting the information out to others, giving them the free gift of what's currently valued $2,000. We're giving it away free. Okay, but we do charge $10 now, okay? We're going to charge you something because we have to. We hope that will make you appreciate the $2,000 in Kringles and appreciate what you've got, enough for you to at least stay and pay attention and do some education. Do some learning, get educated on what the coin is, what cryptocurrency is, and what you've got in our mission, and bring other like-minded people into our community. We will reward you with full coins. If you don't want to do that, hey, Paul, I'm not the type to go out and talk to people, especially about something I don't know. Okay, fine. But I still want a coin? Okay, fine. You buy $100 worth of Kringles at the current price of that day's Kringles. Okay, right now, if you purchase Kringles for $100, you get 12 Kringles. Okay? But when that purchase is validated by the blockchain, the creators of the coin, admin is what we call him. He calls himself Chris Kringle. That's where we get the name Kringles, because he's Santa Claus. He's giving the gift out. And again, it's not just him. It's a team effort. Okay, some extremely smart, they're as smart as they get individuals. And you know the kind of individuals I'm talking about if you know anybody that's as smart as they get, okay? And there's another coin coming out by another owner of a company that's as smart as he gets. Okay, and I always forget his name, but he's the owner of Telegram messaging service, who has been out with that company since 2013. And last month, they had over 200 million people chatting away on their free app because it's completely private. No third party can see what you're chatting about. Nobody can. Okay, not even Telegram can see what you're chatting about. So now that he's got that out there, and you know how fast that attracts people, anything that people can use to communicate with each other, it's called social media, right? People don't need to know how it works. They just know how to drive it. It's just like the internet. But cryptocurrency, how do you drive that? What is cryptocurrency? So you see what I'm saying? Cryptocurrency has come out, and it's been slower to get into, for the masses to jump into it, because they do have to educate themselves a little bit, or someone has to. So now that we're going over to this really fast blockchain platform and we're going to grow like crazy, we've got to get the word out. We've got to really start to educate people, and that's why we're doing these videos. Okay? 24/7. 24/7, we're trying to have somebody online every day, 24/7, in half-hour slots. And every day that goes by, that would be 48 half-hour slots, right? And most of us go over. I've already been over mine for 7 minutes. But that's okay. These things stay right on our YouTube channels for people to go look and see and watch whoever they want to that is doing these videos. In fact, we can run 2 videos, 3 videos, 4 videos at a time. So we could do 98 videos a day instead of 48 or 96 videos a day. Okay, so you get what I'm saying. This is the reason why we're really stepping it up now and telling people about what we have. Okay, especially now that Trump and Patriots are doing what they're doing in the world. Okay, and if we just relied on that, that would probably be fine, because like I said, Trump will have to come out with another currency backed by gold. It's the only way the rest of the world will accept the US dollar, or whatever it's going to be called. Even if the central bankers won this little war that's going on between Trump and Patriots and them, they would have to come up with gold to back their currency, because the world is fed up with it. There's no faith in the US dollar Federal Reserve note. They don't want it. They're repatriating their gold. See what's happening. I talk about it every day, so I'm not going to bore you with that again. But I do want to go over the blog. Now, the blog is something that the administration has done since like a week or two after they came out with the coin. He started posting on a blog on the main site, which is the billioncoin.info. And you can get to the blog by just going to the billioncoin.info. You'll find out all the information you want to know. You'll find out about how our algorithm works, how it values the coin. There's calculators. There's all kinds of interesting information. Okay. And you can go through it fairly quick. It'll even tell you approximately how many members there are in every country in the world. And I think we're in over 200 countries, which is basically all the countries of the world. Okay, there's another 50 that are kind of, I don't know if you can call them countries, but basically they are. But the point is, it's very interesting. And I'll go over that one of these times, because it is interesting to see how these really poor countries, their people have so much more open-mindedness when it comes to abundance. And it's simply logic and common sense. They wake up every day to unbelievable poverty, and they see it all day long. And that's all they've ever seen since they were born. So when they hear about something that can change their lives and bring abundance, and they all can have cell phones now. They all have mobile phones. They may not have a car. They may not have enough food, but they've got a mobile phone. They've got a smartphone. These people are not dumb just because they're poor. Okay, so it is interesting to take a look at that demographics, I guess you would call it, of membership in our current private community. I mean, our current community. But we need to wake up people in second and first world countries, especially the first world countries. And there are many people in first world countries that are members already of our community. They understand. It's just that it's not enough because we're so slow in coming over, because we don't really see that poverty until we drive down the metropolitan areas of the city where we see people sleeping in tents on the sidewalk, right? Or when we go to walk into a place of business and there's somebody begging for money outside the door. And we do what we can, don't we? Or they're outside at the freeway off-ramp, okay? We do what we can, but it's not our fault. It's the central banking system's fault. And of course, it's not a solution, is it? To give somebody $5 or whatever you've got is not a solution. It's a temporary fix, I always say, but it's not a solution. The billion coin on the other end is an absolute solution. So please get behind us. Stand up for this. Do something about it. Not all of us can be doing what Trump and his personal patriots are doing throughout the world right now. So a lot of us are just sitting back watching. But it doesn't really matter if you're a patriot or if you're on the right or you're on the left, you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. When you see world poverty and you're moved by that, you will want to be a part of our community. All we're asking is for people that are not selfish and not greedy and believe that every person in the world should have abundance and should never be poor. Should never be slaves to a monetary system. They shouldn't be slaves to anything except their own lusts. Okay, so please join us. Now I'm going to go over here and, oh, did I tell you? I didn't finish telling you how you can spend $100 on Kringles at that current price. And when that transaction is validated in your blockchain, you'll immediately get 1 million cookies put into your back office. Okay. And then what you'll do is you'll get 2 emails. So we just ask for a name and an email address that's real, because you will need to open those emails and they'll probably end up in your spam because you're not used to getting emails from us. So it comes out real fast. As soon as you register and hit the button to submit, those emails are usually sent out immediately. Okay. So if you don't see them in your regular email thing, look in your spam list. Okay. One will come from Kringle Cash, which is your back office, and the other one will come from TBC 009.com or .info, whatever it is. So one, you'll need to confirm by clicking on the link inside there. It will set up your wallet, and it will be your wallet. And then the other one will set up your back office, and you'll see a million Kringles, not a million Kringles, a million cookies. That's what we call them. It's a point system right now, but it protects us from losing coins. Okay, which we discovered we were doing on the old system because people were just walking away. Okay, so you'll get those, and then during a redemption month, which we have every 6 months, we're currently finishing our second one at the end of this month. So all the people that had built up cookies rewards in their back office, all they had to do was push a button, and it got turned into 1 million Kringles deposited in their wallet, and then those cookies disappeared in their back office. But those Kringles are real coins. See what I'm saying? And 1 million on our system is worth 1 full coin. Currently worth over $8 million, I believe, and will end up being worth, if the price of gold stays the same as it is today, $2.8 billion in 2 to 3 years. Okay, and if you spend $200, you'd get 2 coins. $1,000, you'd get 10 coins. Each one of those coins will be worth, if the price of today stays the same, $2.8 billion per coin. So yeah, that's real wealth. And most of us you know, you want to become a billionaire, most of us would say no. You know, I don't need $1 billion to be happy. No, but if you had $1 billion, you'd be able to make a lot of other people happy, wouldn't you? So why not become a billionaire when you have a chance for this kind of leverage? A multi-billionaire for $100 that you have to send to us, not to admin, not to the creator of the coin. He doesn't want your money. He just wants that $10 because he feels that that will keep you involved. Okay, they are completely self-funded. They pay for their servers, they build their servers, they do everything on their own because there's no scarcity in their mindset. There's no selfishness in their mindset. Okay, so that is why we are so, so different. That's why we are the solution to a myriad of problems in this world caused by a artificial scarcity that has been pushed on the people of this world. It's artificial, people. Okay, so yeah, that is a way you can just come in and get wealth. Because we need you to have the wealth. We need you to have our coins in your hand so that we can start to use it as money, because it is money. Just imagine, let me give you an example. I did this yesterday too, but I love this example. We have 3 million only members, right? 3.2. We don't have a very big economy. Yes, we do have definite economy amongst ourselves. We can't take it to people and say, hey, you know, will you accept us for goods and services? We actually can, okay? And we're doing it all the time. But the masses haven't come in like they have to a certain point with Bitcoin. Simply because Bitcoin has 12 million people using their coin, okay? But we do many, many peer-to-peer transactions among ourselves. We buy land, we buy cars, used cars, we buy land, we buy computers. We do all kinds of stuff with our Kringles, okay? But we need it to be in the masses. Now, if we grew only 30 times, this is what we did last year when we were on a very slow system. If we grow only 30 times this year, and we're on a fast system, so I think we're going to grow a whole lot more than 30 times. But let's just say we grew 30 times. By March 21st of next year, we would be at 90 million, right? If we're at 3 million now, we'd be at 90 million then, which is 7 times larger than the current Bitcoin population. 7 times. We'd have 7 times the economy they have. And they do have a small economy, don't they? So let's say in 6 months from now, we're at 36 million people. What do you think is going to happen when we approach merchants of all kinds who don't yet know about us and say, hey, we have a cryptocurrency, it's called a billion coin, and it's an abundance-based coin. Well, what's an abundance-based coin? It goes up in value every day and never goes down. Well, how does it do that? I mean, I accept Bitcoin, but I know it fluctuates. I just leave it in my wallet. Well, it does that because it's on a market, right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, well, we're not on the market. We're on an algorithm. And then when we tell them, okay, so then when we tell them how the money is, or the price of that coin is still going to go up till we hit our first billion people, then a light will go on or it won't. They'll see or they won't. They'll hear or they won't. And they'll say, the ones that do hear will say, okay, so you're saying that if I accept Kringles for my services, products, whatever, and I put that in my wallet, my Bitcoin wallet, not my Bitcoin wallet, my billion coin wallet, tomorrow it's going to be worth more money. That's right. So you're saying if I sell something for $10 and I take that $10 in the billion coin in Kringle and I put it in a wallet, tomorrow it's going to be worth more than $10. Yes, it will. And the next day, yes, it will. So every day it's going to go up in value until you reach your first billion people. And right now you have only 36 million. That's correct. And you have 36 million people right now? Yes. Well, how many merchants are accepting this? Not too many when you think about how many merchants there are in the world. We're just getting this out. This is our 3rd year. So what you're telling me, Mr. Fisher, is that if I accept this coin, it's not only going to go up in value every day, but you have 36 million people that will come and do business with me. I do have an online site. Okay. Yes, that's what we're telling you. Oh, okay. Well, how do I get involved? You know, that's what's going to happen. So, anyway, I like to give that example because that is just logic and common sense. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go over to this. Actually, it's the very first blog post that the creator of our coin put out on his blog 2 years ago. In fact, it's dated April 2nd, 2016. Okay. So back then we were still basing the value of our coin on the euro. So keep that in mind as I talk and read this off to you. Okay, it starts out, it's just a few paragraphs. It starts out with the title of the blog, this particular blog post is Scarcity is Artificial. Come live a life of abundance. Okay, that's what it's called. And he starts out by saying, have you ever suspected that the whole game of life is rigged? Your suspicions are correct. 2016, that was a year that he made this post, is set to be a more unequal world than ever before. For the first time, the richest 1% of the population will enjoy a greater share of global wealth than the other 99%. Okay, let me say that again. For the first time, the richest 1%. Now, I don't know why he says the richest, because it would be, to me, logic just says the 1% of the population in this world will enjoy a greater share of the global wealth, of the money system, of wealth, whatever is considered wealth. They will enjoy a greater share as of 2016, right, than the other 99% of the population. That's what I see when he says that. I did the research and sure enough, it's true. Now, I don't know the percentage, but common sense, just logic, obviously, if they're enjoying more of a share, all it has to be is 51%. And the other 99% of the population is living on 50%. It's less, okay? But what are the actual numbers? I don't know. But I know that it's gotten worse just in 2 years. I think now it's 0.5% of the people in the world control or have more than the other 99.5% of the people. So if there's 7.5 billion people on the earth, 1% would be 75 million. Is that right? Yeah, 1%. So half of that would be 37 point, I believe the population is right now 7.65. 7,650,000,000. 7,650,000,000 is the population, approximately, as of this month. So that would, if it was 0.5% of people that are controlling the majority of the money or have the majority of the wealth of this world, that would bring that down to 37 million people, a little over 37 million people that control more of the wealth than the other 7.5 billion people on the earth. Okay? As for billionaires, I've said this almost every day, we only have 2,200 billionaires, a little over 2,200 billionaires. that are controlling or that are billionaires. They have at least 1 billion or more. 2,000 out of 7.5 billion people. What is wrong with that picture? It's wrong, people. You know it is. So what are we doing about it? Well, our coin is creating on purpose 1 million billionaires. That's the first thing we're going to do. 1 million billionaires. And then we're going to make 1 billion millionaires, multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. The reason we don't have 1 million billionaires yet when we have 3 million members is because most of them haven't paid attention. They don't even know about all of our promotions and how to get themselves one full coin. So this is another reason why we're out here talking. Okay, so let me go on with this, this blog. It's not that big. Now, he says this statement, which is about, the 1% of the population enjoying a greater share of global wealth than the other 99%. He says this statement comes from the people that bring you The Economist, a publisher that caters to the 1% elite of the world. Okay, so understanding that, obviously it can make a lot of people upset. But not out of jealousy, right? He goes on and says, but because this is so unfair. Now, I don't know if I would have used that word or not, but it is unfair. Okay, but it's a system that's creating it. Okay, so basically he goes on and says you're being ripped off, and not just in a financial sense. Your time, energy, and efforts have been exploited. It seems like the evil people that set up this whole system are not even satisfied with what they already have. Seems like they won't stop spreading artificial scarcity until they also possess everything. Unfortunately, most people have literally been brainwashed into believing that scarcity is normal and acceptable when it's not. Okay? The most natural thing is abundance, and humanity is being robbed of all of their dreams and aspirations. Can you relate to that? If by now you have no idea what I'm talking about, then the elite have succeeded in your case in keeping you in the dark, completely unaware of what's really happening. This is the very first post here towards educating you. And I really don't want to spend a lot of time talking about the problem. I'd rather talk about the solution, the billion coin. The billion coin is an answer for the masses. I always use the word solution. Okay, then he goes on and says, it has been designed to be an easy and simple, there you go, solution to lift the poor out of poverty in just a matter of a few short months. Okay, which it could have done. It could still do it in a few short months. People came together real quick. Okay, if we were social media, we'd have it done already. But because, like I said, we're a cryptocurrency, it takes some education. Now, he goes on and says, you may not consider yourself to be poor right now, but let's face it, you're not a billionaire, right? Would you like to be a billionaire? He says most would immediately say no to that question. And once again, that would be another example of the mind control and conditioning you are under. The truth is, you don't need a billion to be happy. But if you had a billion, you would have the power to also make a lot of others very happy, right? I said this earlier, probably because I read this last night again, just to make sure it was fresh in my mind for today. Okay, so he goes on and says, how can we return the world to a state of abundance and prosperity? We have to change everyone's minds. We have to change everyone's minds. It's the only way. When everyone believes in abundance and prosperity for all, That's when it will happen. There are many info warriors out there doing the best they can to spread awareness, but not much has changed for the better. Motivating people to wake up is not an easy thing to do. Perhaps if there was a $1 billion incentive to wake up to the good life, maybe that will work. Well, the Billion coin begins that experiment. All you need potentially is just one TBC coin to someday become a billionaire, because that is the highest price, the highest the price will ever go for this coin, based on the software formula driving the price of it. And again, it was based on the euro. You are very fortunate if you found this when the TBC coin was only about a penny. Okay, there's 2 more paragraphs here. No matter what you paid for your TBC coins, you are in a position to become very wealthy over time. Just owning these TBC coins is not enough to become wealthy. The truth is, education is required to become wealthy. And that is what this section of the website is dedicated to deliver to you at no additional cost. But if you don't take the time needed to get this education, then you will be doomed to make the mistakes that comes from being uneducated. Wealthy people are not lazy, but a lot of poor people are very lazy. Now, not all. We know that not all poor people are lazy. Okay, but he's just saying here that a lot of poor people are, which is true. Okay, so I just didn't want you to think that he's saying everybody is, because obviously everybody's not. It's a humongous amount of working poor.
We have some more fish.
Awesome.
And it's this.
Okay. All right. So he goes on and says, so it's up to you. Do you truly want to be wealthy, or are you okay just the way you are? The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Okay. Last paragraph. Is there a voice inside you that says you have a lot to offer? Does it say that you do have an unfulfilled purpose? Does it say that you better hurry? A wasted life is a shame. You do matter. Never let anyone steal your dreams from you, ever. Live free, live good, and take charge of your own life and make it meaningful. I hope all of your dreams come true, and I hope the Billion coin gives you the extra means to make it happen. Okay, that was his very first post. Okay, and he goes on, and there's tons of posts, because he's been bringing out more than one a day practically for the last 2 years. It's how he keeps contact with us. It's why we are literally a community of people, okay, that have the same mind. So we are different. We are awesome. You must join us. Thank you guys so much. In fact, again, I forgot to go look at my live chat. Florenci Amanal, thank you so much. Lucy Brown, Sharon Weller, Stephen Cuffey, you're here every day. You're awesome. Joe Stevens again, all the time. You guys are great. Thank you so much for the remarks that you make when you come on here. They're so important. Thanks again for all your support, guys, because I give it right back. Okay? Okay, so that's it. I'm going to let you guys go. And have a great rest of the day or night, wherever you guys are in the world. And I will see you. I'm again scheduled for tomorrow. Same place, same time, same channel. I love you guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.